get my package?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Smith. Whoever it is, he's not reading like an agent.
Surprised to see me?
No.
Then you're aware of it.
Of what?
Our connection. I don't fully understand how it happened. Perhaps some part of you imprinted onto me, something overwritten or copied. It is at this point irrelevant. What matters is that whatever happened for a reason.
And what reason is that?
I killed you, Mr. Anderson. I watched you die. With a certain satisfaction, I might add. And then something happened. Something that I knew was impossible, but it happened anyway. You destroyed me, Mr. Anderson. Afterward, I knew the rules. I understood what I was supposed to do, but I didn't. I couldn't. I was compelled to stay, compelled to disobey. And now here I stand because of you, Mr. Anderson, because of you. I'm no longer an agent of this system. Because of you, I've changed. I'm unplugged. A new man, so to speak, like you, apparently free.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But, as you well know, appearances can be deceiving, which brings me back to the reason why we're here. We're not here because we're free. We're here because we're not free. There's no escaping reason, no denying purpose, because as we both know, without purpose, we would not exist. It is purpose that created us. Purpose that connects us. Purpose that pulls us, that guides us, that drives us. It is purpose that defines. Purpose that binds us. We are here because of you, Mr. Anderson. We're here to take from you what you tried to take from us. Purpose.
What's happening to him?
Don't know.
Yes, that's it. It'll be over soon.
You.
Yes, me. Me too.
Hello and welcome to the Israelites 13 channel. I'm your host. Tonight is part 6 of the Lucifer series. Satan, father of the black waters. Who is Satan and who are his children on the earth? And we're going to do a deep dive into that and delve into ancient texts such as the Rig Veda. Came out hundreds of years before the Bible and written by the Aryan white race of the sons of Adam. And within those texts are many clues and a lot of the same writings and word combinations that followed the Bible and somehow made their way into your Bible to this very day. And we are going to crack the esoteric codes of these very texts. So that said, let's go to the next slide and let's get started. Adam, father of the white waters in the Rig Veda, Sanhita. This is the Professor Mueller translation. And we're going to delve into this and see if Adam's name is hidden right before our very eyes. So let's get started. I'm going to start with number 7. The text on the right from the Mandala Sukta. And if you look at the very name Mandala, something is hidden in plain sight right here. We have Al, which is El, A-D-A-M, Adam. Adam El, the books of Adam. Right in your face, this word is hidden, reversed, an N added, and you could read it either way. You could say A-D-A-N or Adon or Adam, right in your face, hidden in plain sight. So that said, let's get started. It says, number 10, or we ask Indra for help from here, or from heaven above the earth, or from the great sky. So right off the bat, I've done this in the past, but if you look, you read it right to left, and you have the word Ra. Okay, that's on the first level. Now, if you go to the second level, it's A-D-I-N. You reverse these two letters, and you have Adin. Here we ask Adin. And remember, the Son, the S-O-N, was named after the S-U-N. Adam has the same exact name as his father. El Adon, Adonai, Isus, Jesus, Zeus. They're the same phonetically and literally the same words. So that said, let's continue. In the Rig Veda, if you read into these texts, they'll use different animals to describe the gods, the heavens coming down from the earth, horses, cows. And you also find that same pattern in the apocryphal text, also in biblical text or the Bible itself. So that said, right here it tells you the powerful red horses drawing together, draw him. Brihaspati, horses clothed in red, color like the sky. Well, the sky's not red, the sky's blue. So often in the Vedic text, you'll see these gods with blue skin. And basically what that is it means that those who came from the skies, those who came from above. So it's more earth metaphor and attaching earthly attributes to the god. So continuing, it says Agni, A-G-N-I, the white. This is another derivation of Adam. Adanguda Ri Ni. So Ri being Ra, Ni, obviously it's not there, but like I said, when you go through the Vedic text, it's not one set of names or specific names given to the gods or Adam and his sons. It's literally different names. You can have, in other words, you can have one name of a god, Adam, and he'll have 7 or 8 different names attached to attributes or powers of that god. So continuing, it says, Agni the white, obviously when born, the red by growth. So right off the bat, this literally tells you that when Adam, or this god Adam, Agni, was born, he was white. He was white, exactly what Adam said in the apocryphal text. I was white as my fingernails. I was white as my fingernails. And as he grew, he became red by growth. Shine, O Agni, red among the dark ones, those who came of the black waters. So Agni the red means he was a redhead. He, Indra, Adam, went among the dark ones. So here's a perfect example of Agni being Indra. They are exactly the same. So like in the Zend Avesta or the Zend from Iran or the Iranian text, you'll have a certain specific set of gods. Just like in the Hebrew text, you have a specific set of individuals and that's their name. In these texts, you could have one individual and he'll have 7 or 8 different names, literally. So here it tells you, he, Indra, went among the dark ones with his red companions or his red sons. He, Indra, whose 2 cows are red. So if we read in the books of Enoch, Enoch's dream vision, as I've gone over in the past, but this is relevant to these texts. Before I took thy mother Edna, I saw in a vision on my bed, and behold, a bull came forth from the earth, and that bull was white. So we look here in the Vedic text, in the Mandala Sukta, in the Mandala, it says, Agni the white when born. And magically, as he grew, he turned red. So we read in Enoch's dream vision, let me read it again. It says, a bull came forth from the earth, and that bull was white. And after it came forth a heifer or a cow. And along with this latter came forth two bulls from two different fathers, from two different Y chromosome genetic strands, two fathers. One of them black, Cain, and the other red, Abel. And the black bull from the black waters, I added that, gored the red one and pursued him over the earth. We see here in this example, even in the writings of Enoch, they use a bull as metaphor for a human being, an animal for a higher dimensional being coming through the white waters and taking flesh, brutish flesh, a lower dimension. That's metaphor for a lower dimensional being, not being in pure light, but that light being congealed water through the clouds, the white waters, and the water being congealed into hail, a physical body, a flesh manifestation of a higher dimensional being taking a body. Continuing, one of them black and the other red. They had two different fathers, two different Y chromosome progenitors, fathers of these bulls. Enoch leaves that out, but you can find it in other texts that clarify the meaning. Continuing, and thereupon I could no longer see the red bull, but that black bull grew, and that heifer went with him, Cain and Lelua, his twin sister. The book of Enoch here does not tell you that, but you can fill in the blank going in other apocryphal texts, and it tells you when he was born, the black bull, he had a twin sister that was born, Lelua. But that black bull grew, and that heifer went with him. And I saw many oxen proceed from him, which resembled and followed him. So, in other words, this attaches to John the Revelator when he told you that the angry angel, the black angel known as Satan, came to the spring of the white waters and injected his genetics, metaphor for sexual procreation through Satan and Eve, and created this unassimilatable group of black water demons on the earth in the flesh. So these are lower dimensional beings that made their way into earth through the act of sexual procreation of the white waters and the black waters mixing, allowing these lower dimensional beings to come into the third dimension from a lower realm, and through the genetics of Adam, they could maintain physical form in the third dimension. And that's exactly what these texts are telling you if you can put them all together like a giant puzzle. So that said, let's continue. It says, he, Indra, went among the dark ones with his red companions. Abel was red. Seth, the replacement for Abel, was known as Seth the Red. Notice here it says that Agni, when he was born, he was pure white. His blonde hair turned red. He, Adam, went among the dark ones with his red children, his white race children who passed through the white waters. The red horses, the beautiful, were seen bringing us to the bright dawn. Let us worship the gold-colored, the red. May the winged beautiful horses, may the red birds bring you back near to us. The red birds came back by day. The red birds shield you. The aspens around by day from the heat. Let's break this text down and let's see what they're talking about. When they speak about birds, so you go up here and you have Agni, Adam, the red, among the sons of Cain. And we have this same one. It says Indra went among the dark ones with his red companions. So these could be sons, daughters. This could be Eve. This could be their family of white race gods that came from above, and they were put here among these dark ones that made their way from below through the mixing of the races. And these demons came into this third dimension. So, what does it mean when they speak of the red birds? Like I said earlier, they often use animals as metaphor for attributes of the gods. So here we have red birds. What do birds have? Birds have wings. Angels supposedly have wings. So what they're telling you here is that these red birds are flesh manifestations of sons of the angel known as Ad-Ra-El, Adam Rael. And these are his children, the sons of light that came through the stars down to the earth and took flesh bodies. Higher dimensional beings becoming lower dimensional beings. Beings of pure light taking on the flesh, coming through the waters, the white waters, through the clouds, congealing the light into hail. And here they're giving you a physical attribute or a heavenly attribute of the gods being put down onto the earth into flesh. So let's go to the next mandala. And let's read, Thou, Indra, wentest to the light of heavens. Wow, that's interesting. In the light of heaven, in the wide sky, or in the light of heaven. In the highest light of heaven, on the third ridge, or third dimension, in the light of heaven. So I'm not going to give you an English lesson of why he uses all type of different words, but I'll give an example right here. One example. This word right here, ro-kan-at. So we break this word down. It's ra, K. They often use this K. Another slick trick the translators will use when they make these giant word salad anagrams, they'll take letters from different languages, from different civilizations. Right here, this K is a Paleo-Hebrew or a Phoenician letter K, which is the same letter but reversed, and it means literally palm of the hand. We know that Jesus is the one that took the nail through the hand, so this is metaphor for our Father. So we have Atum Anu, palm of the hand, Jesus Isus Ra. So that said, let's continue. It says, either from the earth or from the light of the great heaven increase, O Indra, all the bright palaces of the gods. May the Hotar, being from the Vis Devas, hither from the light of the sun, or from the bright realm of the sun. Here we have the waters again, the waters which are above in the bright realm of the sun, and those which are below. They who in the light of the firmament in the heavens are enthroned as gods. So I'm going to give brief commentary on this. So it tells you right here, all the bright regions of the heavens, the realms of light. Remember I said in the past that when our race, the white race, the Aryans, the first two letters of Aryan are Ra, A-R. And then they throw the Y in there, Y. It's A-R-I-A-N-S, Anum, Isus, Ra, the sons of Isus, the sons of Jesus, who came from the bright regions of heaven. All the bright palaces, there are many mansions in my Father's kingdom. All the bright palaces of the gods. May the Hotar, the Ho, here we have Tar, Ha, may the breath spirit of Atum Ra. See, we have an anagram right in your face. Instead of the HA, they have another derivation right here. You split the word. It's HA or AH. Here we have Tar, Tartaria. Atum, A-T, left to right, right to left, Ra. Atum Ra, bring the Visva Devas. The Devas literally mean the celestial ones, the sons of light who came from above, celestial gods, beings who came from the heavens through the white waters, hither from the light of the sun. So these are the sons of the breath spirit of Jesus Christ, the celestial sons who came through the ether, the white waters of light of the sun, or from the bright realms of the sun. It doesn't say that they came through Saturn. Saturn is an entry point of demons here on the earth in flesh suits, the Saturday worshipers, the children of the black cube, the children who came through the black waters, who came from below. And our Father here is the sun. I am the bright and morning star. And that is our entrance into this realm, higher realm, the realm of the sun. The waters which are above. Okay, these are not waters in the way that you think. Light waves, the waves of the ocean, the waves of the sea. They're speaking of light waves from the realm of light. In the bright realm, the bright white light realm of Isus, Ra, Jesus, Amun, of the sun, and those which are below here on the earth. And then below the earth dimension is a lower dimension where the children of the black cube come from. They who are in the light of the firmament, the stars, if you can count the stars in the heavens, the grains of sand on the seashore, that's how many your offspring will be. God told you in the Bible that you are the stars. If you can count the stars in the heaven, that's how many your offspring through the stars. Molecular projection of higher dimensional beings through the firmament, through the white waters in heaven, are enthroned as the gods, the sons of Jesus Christ. You have to break through these words, these metaphoric words, these anagram word salads that they put together to hide the true meaning. And like I said before, I'll say it again, we are all at the mercy of the translators. I have found in my research many mistakes, even from Professor Wilson, from Mueller, and from other translators. So if you can break through the words which reveal and conceal, you will find the Atlantean white race of Adam, the sons of light, who came through the realm or through the white waters, the emanation of the sun, Jesus Christ, our Father. So that said, let's go to the next slide. This is another hymn from the Rig Veda that blew my mind when I saw this. And I couldn't believe what I was reading here. Adam enters his house of clay, dust. Let me not, O Varuna, enter into the house of clay. Have mercy, Almighty, have mercy. If I go along trembling, like a cloud driven by the wind, have mercy, Almighty, have mercy. Through one of strength, thou strong and bright God, I have gone wrong. Have mercy, Almighty, have mercy. Thirst came upon the worshipper. Though he stood in the midst of the waters, have mercy, Almighty, have mercy. Whenever we men, O Varuna, commit an offense before the heavenly host, whenever we break the law through thoughtlessness, have mercy, Almighty, have mercy. This is a mind-blowing hymn from the Rig Veda, translated by Professor Mueller. What exactly, who is he talking about here? O Varuna. Like I said, different names for the same God. And this Varuna he is speaking about is none other than Jesus Christ. This is exactly who he's speaking about. Ra, they use the letter of V, Va, but it's, you separate the word there. It's Ra, Anu. Anu, right to left, A-N-U, Anu, Ra, Isus. Isus. But they throw the letter V in there. So let's break this word down a little closer. Let's this Varuna, O Varuna. So the first three letters we separate here, Anu, second two letters, Ra, and then we separate the word here. So we have one letter of an incomplete word, two letters which equate to the sun, and here we have Anu, Anum, Atum, Isus. Where do I come up with Isus? Because these are all descriptive terms of Jesus the Father. This is Adam, Agni the White, begging Jesus not to enter into the house of clay. We're going to touch on that in a second. But another slick trick, like I said earlier, that the translators use, they'll pull one or two single letters from another language. In the Phoenician, this letter V right here is literally a Y in our English language, but in the Phoenician, it's a hook with a stick attached, and it makes the sound or a chant of Wah, W-A-W, or W-H, white. So Anu Ra, the white, father of the white waters. They're not telling you his entire name. These are attributes. You have three letters of part of his name, and then the descriptive term, the sun. I am the bright morning star, Revelation 22:16. And then we have the Phoenician letter V, anglicized, but it's a Phoenician letter, the hook with the stick, and the chant, Wah, white. White son of emanation of Anu. And he's begging his father after he fell, let me not, O Varuna, enter into the house of clay. Please have mercy, Almighty, please. What is this house of clay? The house of clay he's speaking of is the dust. This is Adam, the god of the universe, his son, Zeus, being cast into a human body. And he's begging his father, have mercy. This is Adam's fall, hidden in the Vedic text, written by the Aryans. Why wouldn't any biblical scholar or someone who says that they believe in God, why wouldn't you study these texts? These were a few hundred years before the Bible was even written. These are writings from the white race, not the triple S sins of Satan walking around in India now. These were written by the white race of Adam. But like I said, we're at the mercy of the translator. You have to dig deep to pull the truth and to unlock the mystery of these texts. And here this is Adam begging the Father, do not throw me into a flesh body. His light was stripped from him, and that light was encased in the house of clay. So let's go to the next slide. Here we have almost the same text verbatim from the Ethiopic text in the books of Adam and Eve. He says, and Adam wept and said, O Lord, do not cut me off for this, neither smite me with heavy plagues, nor yet repay me according to my sin. For we of our own will did transgress thy commandment. What is the commandment? It doesn't say commandments, it says commandment. So we look at this word commandment. There's no S, so this is a single command and a rule. Do not mix thy seed with lower rank angels. Do not mix with Satan. And they broke the commandment and forsook thy law and sought to become gods like unto thee, when Satan the enemy deceived us. So the commandment was broken by Eve and mixed with Satan, creating the first hybrid lower dimensional being, black waters, demon mixing white light with darkness, giving an advantage to Satan. Giving an advantage to Satan. So we're going to go back and we're going to find out what that advantage was. They tell you in the movies. We are going to let Hollywood be our teacher again. through fantasy sci-fi, and they're explaining this is an Adam character and this is a derivation of Satan. I've said in the past that Morpheus is Satan, and he is, but they use an attribute of Satan, his dark water skin, and this demon right here, he's white. This is an Anakin Skywalker figure in a black suit. They are in the flesh realm, and he is going to tell you something very interesting. Pay attention to what he says.
Then you're aware of it,
Of what?
our connection.
Are you aware of it? Of our connection? Pay attention.
I don't fully understand how it happened. Perhaps some part of you imprinted onto me, something overwritten or copied.
Perhaps some part of you imprinted onto me.
Part of you imprinted onto me, something overwritten or copied.
Something overwritten and copied. In other words, Adam had the literal light code genetics of the Father, of the Creator. So to explain this, you have to go back to the first movie at the end. He kills Neo, the One, and Neo, when he discovers his divinity, defeats him and kills him like he just told you. He jumped inside of him and then explodes his program, and Neo defeats him. So he's telling you some part of you imprinted down onto me. In other words, the two connected. Obviously, this is fantasy sci-fi, but this is literally hidden apocryphal text right in your face, masquerading as science fiction. And he's telling him right here, some part of you downloaded and imprinted onto me. In other words, he took the light from Neo and he was upgraded. He did not return back to his source or where he came from. Like the Father said, it said he kept not his first estate, and he stayed in the third realm. How did he do that? Because he took the genetic code, which this frequency is attuned only to Adam because the world was made for Adam, and he obtained this genetic frequency code and stayed here. That's exactly what he's telling you. Continuing.
It is at this point irrelevant. What matters, our connection. I don't fully understand how it happened. Perhaps some part of you imprinted onto me, something overwritten or copied. It is at this point irrelevant. What matters is that whatever happened for a reason.
And what reason is that?
I killed you, Mr. Anderson. I watched you die. With a certain satisfaction, I might add. And then something happened. Something that I knew was impossible, but it happened anyway. You destroyed me, Mr. Anderson. Afterward, I knew the rules. I understood what I was supposed to do, but
He knew the rules and what he was supposed to do. He was supposed to return back to his dominion, his dimension, his shadow realm. This is a lower caste angel. It is ridiculous what the rabbis have taught through these churches, that Satan was the most beautiful angel. It doesn't say Satan, it says Lucifer, and said he's the one that led all the angels to song. Total rabbinic lie. He is a low caste demon who was jealous of Adam and the privilege God gave to Adam, and the earth, this beautiful world, was given to God's Son. This mansion, many mansions in my Father's kingdom, was given to Adam, and this low caste demon who never led the angels in song, who was never the greatest of the angels. He was low caste. If he was the greatest of the angels, there would have been no need for him to merge with Adam and rape Eve. Some texts say that no, he didn't touch Adam, but I find that hard to believe. And I think Adam's sin is walking around in the flesh in India today. But that's a story for another day. But this literally is telling you in this movie that Satan here mixed with Adam and he became a higher genetic being. This is what they're putting in the movie right before your very eyes, hidden as science fiction entertainment.
Didn't. I couldn't. I was compelled to stay, compelled to disobey. And now here I stand because of you, Mr. Anderson, because of you. I'm no longer an agent of this system.
Because of you, Mr. Anderson, because of you, Adam, I am no longer an angel. I am stuck here in the third dimension. God took his genetic code, his genetic signature of him and his low caste demons, his angels and their offspring, and encoded their genetics into the black stone. This, you're literally looking at the black stone, the father of the black cube. And he just told Adam, I'm stuck here because of you. Continuing.
Because of you, I've changed. I'm unplugged. A new man, so to speak, like you, apparently free.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But, as you well know, appearances can be deceiving, which brings me back to the reason why we're here. We're not here because we're free. We're here because we're not free. Why we're here. We're not here because we're free.
We're not here because we're free. We are here because we are not free. So upon Adam's fall, Adam was cast into a white flesh body, as the books of Adam and Eve tell you. I'm paraphrasing. I did not put you in a black body like I did Satan because I loved you. You're my son. If I had put you in a black body, you would have been dead to me. And Adam was cast onto the earth in the flesh for 930 years. And upon his fall, he was cast into the pit for 4,570 years until his father took the flesh. The son became the father became the son, and went down into Sheol. Before Jesus ascended, he descended down into the pit and freed his sons. And they are putting this in a science fiction movie as entertainment. And you're being educated if you have eyes to see and ears to hear. Continuing.
We're here because we're not free. There's no escaping reason, no denying purpose. Because as we both know, without purpose, we would not exist.
It is purpose that created us. Purpose that connects us. Purpose that pulls us, that guides us, that drives us. It is purpose that defines. Purpose that binds us.
We are here because of you, Mr. Anderson. We're here to take from you what you tried to take from us.
We are here because of you, Mr. Anderson, because of what you tried to take from us. In other words, he is trapped. Whatever rank that this demon held was stripped. He came to the earth, he stole the earth. God removed him from power, created his son, begot his son Adam, and put the very angels from the angel known as Adrael from the heavens and projected them down onto the earth. And upon Adam's fall, they were both stuck on the earth for that time period until God freed Adam. But he did not free Satan. That's also in the text, in the Ethiopic text, in the books of Adam and Eve. It explains the whole story to you. But you have 66 books, and you believe that you have all of God's word. Another rabbinic mind prison fraud. You know, one of the questions that I get all the time from family members and friends, they tell me, you know, Joey, are you telling me that God can't keep his word? God can't keep his word. In other words, when I make these statements, like I'm questioning the divinity of our Father, and nothing can be further from the truth. And I prayed long and hard on this, and I asked the Father, I said, Jesus, give me the understanding. I don't, that is a good question, no doubt. I'm going through these texts and I'm finding in the translations that they've been altered. I'm not the first person that has found this. Other researchers, other professors, they've come out and they've said the same thing. And I prayed long and hard, and the answer came to me in a question. Not a specific answer, but in a question. And the question was, the original question is God capable of keeping his word? If he's divine and he's the true God, then nothing can overpower him. Yes, that's true. But our Father Jesus told you something very interesting in the hidden text. He said the scribes, and we know who they are, those who say they are Judah, but do lie, and are the synagogue of Satan. He said something very interesting. He said they have hidden the keys of wisdom and knowledge from you. Well, I found in other texts there are hundreds, over 700 texts that they've hidden from you. So the answer to the question, is God capable of keeping his own word, is answered by a question nonetheless. And that question is, are you, who proclaims to love God, are you capable of finding the truth? Are you capable of finding his word that has been hidden from you? Think about that. Are you capable, like our Father said, my people are destroyed from lack of knowledge? In the book of Timothy, 2 Timothy tells you, study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Well, how do you do that? Do you do that on YouTube videos? No, you have to diligently seek God's face through the words that he left you on the earth, through the different civilizations. The writings are all over the planet. They've been cast all over every continent like a giant puzzle. So can God keep his word? Yes, of course he can. He's the almighty creator, Jesus Christ, the Father that sits upon the great white throne. But can you find his word? Can you study and seek diligently with all your heart, mind, and soul? And can you find it? So that's the answer that came to me. Side note. So let's continue with Satan talking to Adam.
That drives us. It is purpose that defines, purpose that binds us.
We are here because of you, Mr. Anderson. We're here to take from you what you tried to take from us. Purpose.
What's happening to him?
If you look, Agent Smith, Satan, inserts his hand inside of Neo. So one projection, a lower dimensional projection, a demon from below, projects his hand inside of him, and you see black waters running all over him. So this is a virus inserted into the Earth matrix, and this virus is overtaking the original source code and turning it into a copy of himself, like all viruses do.
Yes, that's it. It'll be over soon.
So Neo's able to push Satan out, or Adam's able to get him out. And what they're showing you there, and I'm not being graphic, but this is symbolic of a sexual act, injecting his genetic code and uploading his genetic code. Satan injecting himself into Adam and trying to steal God genetics. He cannot beat God in any type of confrontation. So he went after the son, after he went after Eve and defeated Eve and gained a genetic advantage. This is exactly what they're showing you in this clip right here. Now let's go forward. So here we have another angel. He's called an agent, but this is an angel coming to the earth matrix, and a copy of the satanic virus attacks this program with the Blackwater virus, and this is what happens.
Yes, me.
As the Blackwaters roll over his body,
Me too.
and makes a copy of himself. So this is a science fiction form of race mixing. This is miscegenation. This is one lower dimensional virus, satanic virus, overriding the original code of the Father, sending one of his angels to the earth and downloading his satanic genetics and making a copy of himself. They literally put this in the movie and hide it in plain sight. You think you're being entertained, and they are literally dropping ancient text on you through the movies. So as we continue here with the books of Adam and Eve, I'm going to back up one more time. Let me not yet, O Varuna, O Jesus Christ, Anum Ra, enter into this house of clay. Have mercy, Almighty, have mercy. So we go ahead. And Adam wept and said, O Lord, do not cut me off for this, for the merging. What is this? Him and Eve merged with Satan. They broke the commandment, and they forsook the holy light genetic blood that flowed through their heavenly bodies, and they mixed with this demon because they believed in satanic propaganda that they could become God himself. They didn't realize they were already gods. They were already above this demon. And Satan, the enemy, deceived them. This is exactly what they're telling you. So let's go to the next slide. So we have here Amaru. This is from a previous show from this series. This is the Amorites primarily worship the god Amaru, also known as Martu. So I'm bringing this up because this name Martu has great significance in tonight's show. As we read in the Vedic text, the Maruts are in the Rig Veda, and they're a group of gods, devas, celestial beings, sons of Adam. And magically, here they are, the same ones that the Amorites pray to, the god Martu. Let's back up. The Amorites primarily worship the god Amaru, also known as Martu in Sumerian. The Amorites were a nomadic people who eventually came to dominate parts of Mesopotamia, Syria, Palestine, and Hammurabi. The famous king of Babylon was an Amorite. Like I said in the past show, they always use Hammurabi. Abi, Abba, Isus, Abba, Ra, Mu, Ramu, Ha, breath, spirit. Yes, it says Ham, but I don't believe they're speaking of Ham. I believe this is another anagram put together into a giant word. And it basically just symbolizes that these are the sons of Adam. That's exactly what it means. So if you look at the word Maruts from the Rig Veda and Martu from the Babylonian writings, and you look at the actual spelling of the word, they're identical, except for the last two letters. They just flip the U and the T and the T and the U. It's the same group of gods, different spelling, different telling of the same beings, just different time points and different civilizations. So what is the meaning of Martu or Maruts? It's right in your face. You unscramble the anagram, A-T-U-M. Atum, the Maruts are the sons of Martu of Adam in the Rig Veda. So that said, let's go to the next slide. Children of the sun, sons of the sun, S-O-N of the S-U-N. Where was the custom of yours, O Maruts, that ye should have joined me, who stand alone in the fight with Ahi? They, the gods, made one out of the sun by their own power. They, the Maruts, were born together according to their nature, very much like Anu of Adham. One can hardly render it by they were born by their own strength or by their generation. So I'm not going to get into his breakdown of the actual verse, but what I'm going to bring to your attention is this. Here we have the Maruts again, M-A-R-U-T, so it's A-T-U-M Ra. The sons of Atum Ra were born together. And we look at this name, here we have in the Rig Veda, Anu. So Anu, Anunnaki, and then we have the S-V, we have that V again, palm of the hand, in the Phoenician, Ad, A-D, A-M, Adam, Adam Ha. So if we break this word down, you look at the V and we have a Phoenician V, in my opinion, and it makes the sound Wa, W-A-W. So we have the last letter of Isus, I-E-S-U-S, V, Wa, white, A-D, A-M, Adam, of the breath spirit. Put it right in your face. It's right there if you understand what the translators have done. So the Y makes the same exact sound in the Phoenician, the Wa, Ah. And a lot of times what these translators do, they'll throw the Y in there because it makes a sound, Wa, and it's a descriptive term of the actual God himself. And you have the same exact word over and over, redundant, recycling, repeating itself. We have A-D-A-M, Adam again. So we read here, the waters who delight in their strength. Well, waters don't have emotion, nor do they delight in the strength of their waves. This is metaphor. This literally means the gods delight in their strength of their white light, white waters genetics of the Father. This is the gods in delight in their God form. They were not like regular men on the earth. So that said, let's go to the next slide. This is the Rig Veda from Albert Pike's book. And he says right here, let's start. He, Varuna, has extended the firmament over the tops of the trees. That means family trees. He has placed fire in the waters, the sun in heaven. How do you put water and fire? The two cancel each other out. Impossible. So what does this mean? He has placed fire in the waters. He has placed his light, O Varuna Anu Ra, Wa, white, Isus. He has placed his light in his children who pass through the white waters of the sun from the realms of light known as the heavens or heaven. The imperial and renowned Varuna has spread the firmament as a bed for the sun. As the immolator, the skin of the victim. They put it in the context here in this sentence through a mistranslation as a sacrifice of some type of animal, the victim. Now, that's not what it means. It means that the children took the skin, his children took the flesh. The regal Varuna verily made wide the path of the sun, and the stanza preceding, the regal Varuna of pure vigor in the baseless sustains on high a mass of light. The rays are pointed downward while their base is above, of which he says the attributes here assigned to Varuna, his abiding in the. So what do they mean by this? Very interesting text here. He tells you that these lights, the regal Varuna, the Most High Father, the Father of pure white light, I am the light, I am the light of the world. What does that mean? Does that mean he's illuminating the world? No, that means that the world, the earth matrix in this universe, came into existence through his light. In the baseless sustains on high. So the light comes from him in the highest heaven. A mass of light, which comes from him. The rays, whereof are pointed down. Pyramids above, pyramids below. Reality, racial, light energy projection pyramids, while their base is above. The four rivers of pure white light of the Father. Antarishka and his holding, a bundle of rays. So this is another word salad right here. Anagram, breath, spirit. We have the K, palm of the hand. We have Re, one way, Ra the other, Isus, Ra, Atum. And his holding a bundle of rays. How do you hold a bundle of rays? These are from the footstool of the Father. He is the light of the world. He is the light of all creation. Without Jesus, there would be nothing. Without our Father, there would be no creation at all. And they would rather identify him with the Son, or at least refer to him as his character of Aditya. As the Son, Varuna placed the ocean white as a drop, vigorous as an antelope, object of profound praise, distributor of water, the powerful transporter beyond sin, the ruler of this existing. What are they telling you here in verse 6? Let's go through this. As the Son, Anum Ra, Waha, of the white waters, placed the ocean, Waha, you have the V, here you have the Wah, Wah, Ah, the chant, the sound, the descriptive chant of a descriptive color of his children, white as a drop, vigorous as an antelope. So he uses an animal in metaphor again. Object of profound praise, distributor of water, the powerful transporter beyond sin, beyond flesh of the third dimension, the ruler of this existing. What does that mean? Object of profound praise. He distributes the light waves, the water. He is the distributor of the soul sparks who pass through the white waters, the powerful transporter of the sons of light onto the earth, where sin abounds here in the third dimension, the ruler of this existence. Friend Vishnu, stride vastly. Sky, give room for the thunderbolt to strike. Let us slay Vritra, Satan, and let loose the waters. Pay attention to this very close. Let them, when released, flow in the path of Indra. So here we have Vishnu, we have Vritra, and Indra. Adin Ra. So like I said, 7 or 8 different names for the same God, descriptive maybe of the same God with all the different attributes of the one God. Now that's a tongue twister and a word salad, but that's exactly what they've done. It's a very complicated text to read and understand. Let's unpack this here. He says, he strides vastly. The friend Vishnu stride vastly. Sky, give room for the thunderbolt. That means he can pass through the dimensions. And this is a battle that ensued over Satan. Go back to John the Revelator's writings of the white spring, the spring of the white waters, where this demon, Satan, injected his Y chromosome, lower dimensional being, took over the earth matrix, and they fought over it. And he let loose the waters. They don't tell you here. The translators kept out the word white. White. White as a drop. So this water, white as a drop, let loose the white waters. How did they do that? Isus, our Father, in the book of Job, I throw thunderbolts, and they come back to me and say, here we are. Our Father did this. He freed them. And in the text from John the Revelator of the spring of the white waters, it said that he sent Michael the archangel down. But here in the Rig Veda, it says that our Father himself threw thunderbolts and struck Satan to slay him, and then opened up the white water spring. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. This is what this means. Let them, when released, flow in the path. And in the text of the white waters, it tells you that Michael came down with a sponge. He infected the earth with his black water virus, just like they showed you in the Matrix clip I just showed you. That's the black waters. That's where they get that from. But in the movie, they're telling you, they're literally reading hidden biblical texts because they have the keys of wisdom and knowledge, and you do not. You've got to seek these texts out. Is God capable of keeping his word? Are you capable of finding it? Are you capable of seeking it out? Our Father commanded you to do it yourself. He didn't say go to a church. He didn't say go to a guy on YouTube. He said do it yourself to rightly divide his word. Now, do we have all the writings? No. Jesus told us that they kept these from us because they don't want you to ascend. Once you become aware of that fact that they have hidden the keys of wisdom and knowledge from you, then you realize exactly what you're involved in. The Bible tells you we wrestle not against flesh, but of principalities. These are disembodied spirits that have made their way onto the earth from a lower dimension, and they want you here. They feed off of our light, just like they told you in the Matrix, you're a battery. There would be no third dimension if there were no white race children on the earth. God would have destroyed this place a long time ago. It's telling you that there was a battle for control over the earth matrix, and that this devil right here injected himself from a lower dimension and took the earth by force. And our Father himself freed the white waters up. They tried to genocide us and limit us from coming here. So this is definitely a hidden past that's been kept from us, this constant war between the white waters and the black waters. So continuing, the daughters of the white waters. Let's go back into the Rig Veda. Hymns to the Maruts. The bright cows are here, the cows of the morning, the dawns, or the days themselves, which are represented as rescued at the end of each night by the power of Indra, or similar solar gods. Indra's companions in the daily rescue are the Maruts, the storms or the breezes of the morning, the same companions who act even a more prominent part in the battle of Indra against the dark clouds. Two battles often mixed up. So let me pause right here. What is this telling you in the Rig Veda? So just like in the books of Enoch, God uses animals as representation of the gods in human form. And it literally tells you, behold, a bull came forth from the earth. The bull was white. And from that bull came forth a heifer. So the heifer is a female. The bright cow, as in the Rig Veda here, is telling you, let's go over this and dissect it. It says the bright cows are here, the cows of the morning. So these are the daughters of the morning. Who's the morning? Is it Lucifer, Satan? No. Jesus told you, I am the bright and morning star. So the daughters who came from Adam, Adam's rib, Eve, the daughters are the bright cows of the morning. Why are they called bright cows? Because they have the light of our Father, Jesus Christ, within them. And here, this is metaphor, the dawns or the days themselves. The dawns are the female, the feminine, the lesser light, and the days are the sons themselves, which are represented as rescued at the end of each night by the power of Indra, or similar solar children of the sun, gods of the sun, sun gods. You know, sun god day. So let's go to the next hymn. It tells you Indra's companions, the daily rescue, are the Maruts, the sons of Atum Ra, the storms, What comes from a storm? Rain, lightning, light, or breeze, or the breath spirit of the morning of Jesus Christ. The same companions or the same sons who act even a more prominent part in the battle of Indra against the dark, the sons of Cain, the sons of Satan, the dark clouds of the black waters, the lower dimensional angels as they battle over the earth matrix. They kept not their first estate. They came into this dimension, the third dimension, this world that was made for the children of the white water, who came from the morning, the breath spirit of the morning, the breeze of the morning. This is all metaphor for higher dimensional beings coming down to the earth. I keep saying that, but that is the truth. That's exactly what these texts are telling you, and they're hidden within the text. You have to understand these words, the key meanings of the words. The cows of the Panis, the cows which are stolen, fought for, pursued, recovered, cows which are desired by the Rishis, the cows which are won by the hymn and the sacrifice, by the blazing fire and the God increasing verse and the God intoxicating soma, are symbolic cows, are the cows of light, are in the other and inner Vedic sense of the words go, usra, usriya, the shining ones, the radiance, the herds of the sun, the luminous forms of the dawn. These are the daughters of the white waters, lower dimensional sons that came through the black waters so they can steal our genetics and remain here in the third dimension. So the soma, that's supposed to be like a strong drink, but it also has a symbolic meaning, I believe, of light in the blood, are symbolic cows. They are cows of light. They are cows that come through the morning. They are the women, the daughters, the projection portals of the sons of light that come from above down to the earth. And these demons through the black waters desire them. Look all around. That's all you see. Sons of darkness always pursuing the daughters of the white waters so they can breed us out of existence. This is part of their plan. I went over that in the last show. I'm not going to get too deep into that. These texts that were written by our forefathers, the Aryans, on the steppes of the Punjab, these literal texts are telling you how we came to the earth, or gives you a description of Adam and the sons of light when they were in God form on the earth. And this text is telling you here the herds of the sun. That means the children of the sun, the children of Israel, the luminous, the daughters of light, the forms of the dawn. What does this mean? The luminous forms of the dawn? That means higher dimensional beings, females, projection portals here on the earth, allowing God's sons of light to come down to the earth. That's why they want you race mixed. So the stars in the heavens cannot manifest down here on the earth in human form. So you have dark, lower dimensional sons of darkness, like the Emerald Tablets tell you, beware of the dark brothers. Dark means black, jet black, inky black, sons of the lower dimensions, mixing with our women that they desire to block the stars of the heavens from making entrance into the earth matrix in the third dimension. So that said, let's go to the next slide. The white waters here in the Rig Veda. I know that I'm heavy into the Rig Veda. I'm only giving you a tenth of the research that I found. I could be here for 5-6 hours straight on all the text that I have concerning these waters and how our people make entrance into the world. And I can tell you this, it's not in the Bible. The Bible gives you a brief summary. It says, and God came to the earth and divided the water from the water. So if we go into the book of Genesis 1, verse 6, the Bible tells you, And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. And the evening and the morning were the second day. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. So this is very interesting here in the book of Genesis. Could this have dual meanings? Of course. You have the esoteric and the exoteric. Of course, he's talking about certain creations on the earth. But he says something very interesting. He says, the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind. I think the dualistic meaning of this, he's talking about human beings. He's talking about the waters from above, as written in the Rig Veda, those who came through the white waters, as John the Revelator told us, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. So I believe the dualistic meaning here, he's talking about the sons of light. There's no doubt in my mind that that's what this means. You divide the waters from the waters. I think the waters above are light waves, the waves of the ocean, the waves of the sea. He's talking about his sons manifesting, the sons of the morning, coming through light waves, through the ether, coming through the firmament, coming through the spring of the white waters, and he divided the waters which were under the firmament. Well, how do you divide the waters? Is he talking about the waters, the light waves, the waters from above? Yeah, very possible he's talking about that. But if he's talking in the earthly dimension, how do you divide waters from waters? My opinion, he's talking about people. You divide the black waters from the white waters. So continuing, it says here in the Rig Veda, the waters which are from heaven, or those which flow after being dug, or those which spring up by themselves, the bright, pure waters. Anytime they use this word bright, they're speaking of white, the bright white waters, the white spring, the spring of the bright white waters, which are pure. There are no black water genetics within them. So let's read this again. After being dug, or those which spring up by themselves, the bright white pure waters that tend to the sea, may those divine waters protect me here. All kinds of food go to Agni, as the 7 rivers go to the sea. But if you read here in the Mandala 1 Sukta 19, this is very similar to what Genesis chapter 1 was just saying. I mean, it's almost verbatim exactly the same thing. And as I read through these texts and other texts, there's always the same theme of the waters over and over again. And in the Rig Veda, he's telling you here, written by our race, the Aryan white race of Adam, the waters which are from heaven. Well, what waters are those? Those are the waters that come from the clouds and are congealed into hail. White light mixed, light or fire mixed with water. In other words, your soul spark in your body is made of mostly water. But within the ghost suit that you call a body and God calls a tempel is a white light from his fire, from his light, from the morning star, Jesus Christ. It's exactly what these texts are alluding to, if you have eyes to see and ears to hear. So that said, let's go to the next slide. These are from the Sumerian cylinder seals right here. And I found this very interesting that this painting here, this picture that they got from the seals right here, says Father God IA, and here they have the IA, the Yahweh. But like I said, this is not the devil. These are just attributes of the Father. I mean, I broke this down. I'm not going to get too deep into that. But like I said, it was never a Y. It's never a Yah. It was an I from the beginning. So if you read it right to left, you have Alpha, Isus, Isus, Alpha, Ha, Hu, breath, spirit. And it's not a V, it's not a Va, it's a Wa. And the V in the Phoenician makes the Wa sound. So we have breath, spirit of Isus, Alpha, or Indra, or Indra, bestowing the life-giving waters. Here we have Indra, Ra, Adin, just like I've been reading out of the Rig Veda, bestowing the life-giving waters. This is light projection of the Father. He's got the living waters in these containers. And I believe this right here, the deer is always the symbol of Adam from the land of Mu, Muta, M-U-T-A. Left to right is Atum when you unscramble the anagram. And I believe this is none other than Thoth or Enoch with Adam and Eve. And it tells you right here from the Sumerian seal of King Gudea, sounds a lot like Gouda. Note the horn Gothic headdress and costumes of that period with long beard and clean-shaven lips. The sun as angel. The sun. So who's the sun as an angel? Ad-Rael. Adam Rael in the heavens with a double-headed serpent. Introduces votaries. The flower bud on the top of the vase is the Sumerian word sign for life. So if you look back on Eve right here, she's wearing the double crown because she is from the ram. The ram, Amun Ra. The ram was another symbol of Zeus, of Adam, not the devil, of Adam. And here we have Jesus the Father giving the life-giving waters in this vase, or flowing the very essence of light waves down to his sons, Adam and Eve, through Thoth. Here we have the two deers right here, symbolic of both of them, Adam and Eve, the white deer skin dance, right in your face. So that said, continuing, the white waters. Treasures were deposited in the Agni, like the permanent rays of the sun. Thou art the sovereign of all treasures that existed in the mountains, in the herbs, in the waters, or among Adamic white race, whitewater men. So this Rig Veda is bombshell. If we go over number 3, it says, treasures were deposited in the Agni, Veas Wanara, like the permanent rays in the sun. Thou art the sovereign of all the treasures that existed in the mountains, in the herbs, in the waters, or amongst Adamic men. So what are they telling you here? The treasures that were deposited in Adam, Veas Wanara, was the exact thing that I've been saying in the whole series. It is the white waters light of the sun. He who sits upon the great white throne, Jesus Christ our Father, deposited the white light, golden treasure of Jesus Christ in his Son. And as we read here, it says something very interesting, just like in the book of Job. It speaks of treasures that existed in the mountains. This is metaphor. The metaphor they're speaking of in mountains means groups of white race children as they multiply as a race of people on earth. They give them the metaphor of mountains. The people grew as large as a mountain. The herbs or the children or the soul sparks that pass through the white waters and became men. So, what does Hollywood have to say about this white water light, this treasure stored in the children of Adam?
I understand now. I can see what she saw. So many planets. So much life destroyed every time a Celestial is born. You are not saviors, Eternals. You are murderers. I will kill you all for what you have done to my kind.
So, what is Hollywood telling you in this clip? This is from a movie called The Eternals. And in this movie, there are two opposing forces, the sons of light and the sons of darkness in biblical terms. The sons of light are known as the Eternals. They were sent to the earth to protect the human race so they can grow in population. And then you have an opposing force, the sons of darkness, the fallen angels, known as the Deviants. And in these clips, you'll see these Shadow Realm demons led by their father, Satan, attacking the Eternals like spiritual vampires and injecting tentacles into their neck and extracting the very white light treasure of Jesus Christ in the Eternals. And this is why our Father told us, do not mix thy seed with the sons of Cain. Adam, do not mix with the tree of evil known as Satan. And they are putting it right in your face when these demons known as the Deviants attack the Eternals. They're literally stealing the white light out of their bodies. And each time they do this, they transform, they upgrade their genetic code, and they become aware. They become almost godlike and almost replace the Eternals. So that said, let's return back to the Rig Veda. Heaven and earth expanded, as it were, for their Son. Praises addressed to their graceful moving, truly vigorous, and all guiding. Vayasarwana, another anagram. Vayasarwana, who knowest all that are born. The magnitude has exceeded that of the spacious heaven. Thou art the monarch of Manu, descended men. Thou hast reigned for the gods in the battle, the wealth. So if we look at this name, Manu, here we have the same thing. A-M-U-N. Amun, descended white race men in the flesh. From Amun, Amun-Ra, our father. Adam, the son of God, Luke 3:38. Thou Agni, who was Agni? Agni, another derivation of Adam. Agni, the white babe. The baby that was white. The fragile, beautiful white baby. As he grew, he grew and turned red. Veus Wanara slew the stealer of the waters and sent them down and clove the cloud. Here we have the same exact story of how Adam, or our Father, Jesus Christ, slew the stealer of the waters, the black Satan, who injected his genetics into the white waters to cut off the children of Adam, and he was defeated. Like the spring of the white waters from John the Revelator tells us that he drove out the devil. And in another text I read earlier, it was Jesus Christ himself throwing thunderbolts at him and drove this devil Satan away from the spring of the white waters and drove him off. And these white waters were then sent back down to the earth. So all through the ancient text, it tells you of a battle between the white waters and the black waters. And we'll dig into that later on in the show. 7, Veus Arwana, by his magnitude is all men, and is to be worshipped as the diffuser of manifold light. So what does this mean? He's the diffuser of manifold light? This is talking about soul sparks coming to the earth. So we go down here to number 1, and it says, the August, sovereign of all beings, as soon as generated from this, he surveys the universe. He accompanies the rising sun, Agni the white, who is present in the sky and present on the earth, and who is present, has pervaded all vegetation. May Agni, Veus Wanara, who is present in vigor as the vital force or energy, guard us night and day against our enemy. Agni, who is Veus Wanara, the augmenter of water. So here we have again in the Rig Veda, I found it again over and over and over, the augmenter of water. Higher dimensional beings, I've said it 100 times, I'll say it again. Higher dimensional beings coming through the waters, the heavenly waters of the white light of Isus, Alpha Omega, Amun Ra, Jesus Christ, our Father. Over and over again, they talk about this water. No matter what book I dig into, this same theme comes up over and over and over again. But the translators never tell you the meaning. And I'm giving you the meaning. So that said, let's go to the next slide. I found this painting mind-blowing here. Jesus, the Father of the White Water, I named it. And I got this from another show. I can't remember the guy's channel. Forgive me for that. But this is an ancient painting, and this is Jesus Christ, the Son. Here we have our Father sitting on his great white throne. And we have the sun, the sphere of the sun around him. And then outside of that, we have the waters. And we have the council of all of his white light children. There are no black water children in here. No sons of Satan. And if you notice in the picture, they are jumping through the heavenly waters of the firmament with their wings. And here in the middle, we have the sons of light who pass through the waters, and the representation of them in human flesh form, receiving the rays of the sun. It looks like rain coming from the council, God's children around him. So we have the emanation of white waters, raindrops, and it's not H2O as we know it, but these are light wave raindrops, congealed light into hail, taking the physical manifestation of the flesh body as they're standing on the clouds. That represents higher dimensional beings coming down through the waters and taking human flesh. This is exactly, in my opinion, what this means. So that's going to end tonight's show. Stay tuned for part 7, the conclusion of Satan and the Black Waters. I'd like to thank everyone out there for their support, as I always do. And may Jesus bless all of you. God bless and good night.